Welcome to the Hoopo Show, where stories drift between worlds and forgotten moments find new life. Let's begin our journey. Let's go. And welcome back, everybody. How are you today? I'm sick as a dog. Wasn't going to do this. Feel like absolute hell. It's funny. I think my mom cursed me because she called me last week. She's like, how's the health of everybody? How's everybody doing? Nobody's been sick for a while. I haven't heard you. Yeah, no, we're good. I was like, why did you even mention that? Next thing you know, boom, daughter catches something. Boom, Stella catches something. Luna and Stella both catch something. Then my lady catches it, and then boom, just feeling like absolute shit. But let's get through this, right? And then I come home. It's raining today in Toronto. I come home and it looks like I have an issue of groundwater swelling in my basement on a spot. So I come down, there's like just a spot. It's not coming from the corners, it's not coming from anywhere else, it's just there. And we all know how much I love water issues, so this is great. This is just great. But you know what, all houses have issues. We all have to deal with it. So I've already called the basement place and we're gonna deal with this shit. All right, so yeah, let's get right into it, man. My voice sounds like absolute yeah, it sounds great, doesn't it? So let's just fight through this one. I thought this would, I want to stick to it. I said every Friday, right? It's this guy. So let's start this here, man. I wasn't even going to mention this, but my barber, he's young, right? And I was getting my my haircut the other day, Tuesday, and he's like, "You've been watching the Diddy trial?" I'm like, no, not really, because I haven't been, right? He's like, man, the stuff I've been hearing on the internet. I'm like, what? So he's like, you want to get an update? I'm like, all right, cool. Because can't stop, won't stop. He is from those days, and I remember back in those days too. I even thought he was a little. There's a little something going on with those ad libs, right? I knew there was something behind those ad libs, but I'll leave it at that. So he's like, yeah, man. They're saying that when he was having those freak parties, this is disgusting, by the way. This cannot be true. Let me lay it out here right now. This can't be true. No human being does this shit. This is just what you call when people are just shitting on you and trying to destroy you, right? And believe me, I'm not on any side with this whole Diddy thing. I'm like, I could not give two shits. But this right here, this cannot be true. He said that people are saying that when he was at this party, when he was doing these parties, he would use sperm as lube. I stopped him from cutting my beard and stopped him from giving me my haircut. And I said, listen, that shit right there, back in my day, like that right there cannot be true. That is some that's some devil shit right there. That cannot be true. That is just the internet being crazy. That's why I'm not that deep on the internet right there, so I don't have to read stuff like that. Like, my algorithm didn't give me that one, and I'm glad my algorithm didn't give me that one, because that right there is disgusting. Saying he uses it as lotion, like, come on, man, that cannot be true. So I'm just gonna leave it out there. Like, that's what's going on, man, on the internet. People are saying shit like that. Just disgusting. Just disgusting. So today, let me say this. I wasn't even sure what I was going to say today, but I'm in a bit of a mood. Saw this guy in the gym with it's always in the gym, but I saw this guy in the gym with a Tommy Hilfiger tank top. Tommy Hilfiger, man. So I'd put me in a time machine back to the 90s, man. We used to go to Birch Run in Michigan for before school to get school clothes, and there was this what do you call it, the outlets, like Nautica. This was like 96, 97, 98, great era. Get your Nauticas, get your, they had Polo, but they had Tommy, man. In those days, Tommy was it. Tommy Hilfiger was it. And for me, like, if you've listened to a few of these episodes, I have a bit of an addictive personality, right? So I go hard in the yard when I love something, right? And those days, I loved Tommy Hilfiger. I just loved it. I mean, it was in the music I was listening to. This is before his whole saying some crazy shit about who he wanted to wear his stuff. This was before all that. So this was when Tommy was it. And I remember I got a little bit of money. Well, student loans. Well, this was even before that, man. I was still getting my Tommy stuff. And right when I graduated high school, I got the student loans, and this is how I went to college. My first day. I swear to you, you can't make this up, man. I literally had a Tommy Hilfiger shoes. Some of you might not even know they made shoes. They were these white shoes with the flag on the side, clean. I had Tommy Hilfiger socks, the white ones with the flag right at the top. I had Tommy Hilfiger jeans, the one with the loop. Remember the loop, the 90s loop with the flag on that. I had Tommy Hilfiger polo shirt on, right, with just a little flag right here, right on your chest. And then I had this windbreaker, this Tommy Hilfiger windbreaker on top of that, which had just this giant, like it was just obnoxious, just this huge flag across the front. And then I had a Tommy Hilfiger hat that I would put on. And I also, just in case it got super cold, I had this sweater, this knitted sweater that just said Tommy across it, right? And here I am. And while I was at it, in Michigan, they sold these fake No Limit Records chains, and I got one of those. I got my tank. So on top of all that, I blessed myself with a tank right on right there, just hanging down. And that's how I went to my first day of college, man. And I continued that trend with student loans. I matured up though. I would go spend like $80 on a Friday, crazy, on like a dress shirt, Tommy Hilfiger dress shirt, underneath my fake leather jacket, looking slick, double fisting, going to the wall, Canada or college. But yeah, that just reminded me that how much I loved Tommy Hilfiger. Not so much anymore, but I sure loved it then. I'll give a health update, man. Besides being sick as hell right now, I had my MRI, man. I don't know if any of you have had MRIs before, but that shit was kind of terrifying. I'm not claustrophobic, but I was claustrophobic as shit in that thing. They lay you in, and then I was in there for 26 minutes. They checked me fully. My heart was racing. Definitely wasn't a fun experience, and I don't suggest anybody doing it for fun. But I'm glad I got it done. And it's funny, my headaches, ever since that whole thing happened with taking those pills and not feeling good, I stopped all that. It's been pretty good, actually, to be honest. It hasn't been too much, so I'm happy with that. But I'm very happy that I had the MRI. So how many people can say they had an MRI for up there? So find out, see what happens, and go from there. Went to the dentist. These are just regular things, right? I guess I grind my teeth a lot, which does not surprise me. And so I'm getting I'm getting a proper mouth guard, because I bought these mouth guards off Amazon. They're like these I don't know, these bootleg mouth guards, which they just don't work. They work, but they don't work, 'cause they move around when I'm sleeping. And so I gotta get a proper set done, and I got some dentist work to do. That's why I tell my daughter, and I brush my son's teeth, and tell my daughter every day, you gotta take care of your teeth, man. Take care of your teeth. Anybody listening right now, take care of your teeth. Floss every day, which I do, but I'm telling you, if you don't do it, like, take care of your teeth, man. You don't be sitting in that chair, just getting all this stuff done because you just held back for so many years. And that was me back in the day. I had so much work to do. It was ridiculous. And now, it's not as bad because I take care of my mouth. But this grinding thing is not fun. And then running, man. I actually as you know, I followed in my footsteps with my grandfather with running. Last year, probably more footsteps than he ever did, was 3,200 kilometers in 1 year. I told that dentist yesterday, she kind of looked at me all crazy, like, my God. I'm like, yeah, probably why I grind my teeth. But, so I fell back in love with running, man. I haven't done this much running since, all that shit happened. Last year after my race, with just not feeling good with my left side and all that stuff. I was only doing like little runs here and there, very slow, 5Ks, maybe 3 times a week, just doing my cardio on the bike. But last week, I did like, I think 30 kilometers in a week, which I haven't done in a long time. That's not a lot compared to what I was doing, but for me doing right now, that's a lot. And man, it felt so good. I did feel a little tweak with my hip, this and that, but man, it felt so good, and I was like smiling while I was running, and you just fall back in love with it. But then your body just like gets reminded of the beating that it does to you, though, because like even then, like I iced myself, I stretched after, but I was like feeling it after with my hip and my that's just being 45, right? Like I put in all those years into last year and just said, all right, that's it. Like, give me everything you got. And you know, pull out 30 kilometers in a week. But it felt great, and I fell in love with it. And anybody, that'll be my challenge. You know, I challenge people. I'm going to put that right there. I wasn't sure what the challenge was going to be, but it feels good. I fell back in love with it, and I'm glad I did, because it really does clear your mind. I was running down Queen near, what's that place called? Doesn't matter. But I was running, and this guy stopped me in his car with his lady, and a younger couple. And he's like, hey, sorry for stopping me. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, man, you want to join my running club? I was like, man, thanks, but no, I roll solo on this. He's like, I respect that. And it's funny, man, because I couldn't imagine doing like running in a running club, but it reminded me of why I run solo. It is such an opportunity for you to rebalance yourself and reset and just check yourself from head to toe. Like, take a slow pace, man. You don't have to run like you're trying to, save the world or outrace Kipchoge. Like, jog and just think, how's my head feel? How do my eyes feel? How's my jaw feel? And just kind of like do an inventory check your whole body. And allow yourself to feel every one of those spots so that you can take note and take inventory, so that when you come home, like, yeah, there was something going on with my hip, or what's going on with my calf, or why am I breathing like that? And you can kind of just go from there and work on that and adjust. And just, it's so good to clear your mind as well, right? Because all those things that you may be going through, the dampness in your basement floor, your daughter just called you from school, her tummy's upset, poor thing. So if she calls me back, I'm gonna go get her. Just things like that. It's regular life stuff, and getting sick doing it, but you just got to keep going. And it's those opportunities with running, you can store it all, and kind of what I'm doing now is get rid of the things that are nonsense to be stressing you out, and just kind of like knock them to the side. Like, you know what? Why is that bugging me? Let me get rid of that. And like kind of just like compartmentalize, if that's the word, things in your life for just that moment. Even if you're running just for 30 minutes, it's a good opportunity to do that. So, yeah, fell back in love with running, man. And I wanted to bring up one other point before we switch worlds. It was so funny. There was this a friend of ours in the neighborhood just brought up this funny point when I was talking with her, and she's like, "Oh man, those parents who talk through their kids." I was like, "I kind of don't understand what you mean. Explain that." And then she explained it, and it was so funny. Like when we first had kids, like when we first had Luna, you go to the park and you take the kid to the park, and there'd be these parents that as they're like playing with their kid, and their kid can't talk, they talk through the kid. So like, oh, you're learning your ABCs now, just so that the other parents can hear. You're learning your ABCs now. You're a gifted child, aren't you? Why don't you do it for everybody? Say A to Z right now. You know calculus now, don't you? You're just a little gifted little thing, right? Jesus picked you. Jesus picked you. You know what I mean? And you have those people in the park that talk through their kids. I'm like, my God, that is so true. I don't miss that. Because that's like when you're a rookie parent, right? You're in the park and you're just like you get thrown to the fire, right? And then so I brought up a funny point. It's like, man, those birthday parties. Remember those birthday parties? Those first birthday parties you would go to when they're super young, right? When you first have kids, and you just get thrown into a room with a bunch of parents that you don't know, and you've never met them before. You don't know how to interact with them yet, so you just kind of like go in and just and let it out, right? And I just remember this one time, because I got sick of it, the awkwardness, the small talk. I got so sick of it. I was going to these parties, and people were like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, so how about that weather? Did you see how those clouds turned colors yesterday? Wow, it was just nuts, wasn't it? It was crazy. So what do you think of the Jays? I'm like, and I would answer those questions, but then it just got to the point where like, I'm done with this, man. And we went to this one, so there was this one instance that we were at this birthday party in the park, and it just started. I'm sitting beside Sharon. It just started, and this dad was just talking to me. I don't even know this guy. His dad was just talking to me about, I don't know, the library or something. Who knows? I don't know what it was. Nice guy, but it was just, you know. And he's just, you want to go out? What do you mean, Goosey? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I've had enough of this. I gotta throw a monkey in this party. So I looked at him. I said, he asked me, so what are you gonna get up to this weekend? And I looked at him. I just, you know what, I had enough. And I looked at him and I said, you know what, this weekend, actually, that's funny you mentioned. It's funny you asked, because this weekend's going to be big. He's like, oh, yeah, what's going on? I said, man, this weekend, I scooped a bunch of ecstasy. And my wife and I are going to send the kid to my mom's, and we are going to dance all weekend at home with Spotify. And we're just going to roll. We're just going to roll hard for the entire weekend and see where that takes us. Drink a lot. We will drink a lot of water. You don't have to tell me that. But yeah, just a bunch of E this weekend for sure. He just looked at me so crazy. He was sitting and I was standing kind of like right here, and he kind of looked at me like, what? Like this. I was like, all right, good to meet you. Gave him the Nixon. Like this. And I was out, man. You gotta have some fun. You gotta have some fun from time to time, man. And that was one of those moments. With that being said, let's go and switch some worlds, all right? So let's switch worlds. I want to give a shout out to Shea Gildress Alexander. Local boy did good. You got the MVP for the NBA, man. And Canada, Toronto, we're all so proud of you, man. That's huge. So congrats to you, Shay. And you did the country proud. Okay, we're back. Shea Gildress, Shay, MVP. All right, let's get into the Hoopo verse. So for music, I'm not going to do Diddy. I'm not going to Puff Daddy it up. I'm not going to do it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take you back to the 90s. 90s R&B, man. I am a huge fan of 90s R&B. R&B in general, but 90s R&B, man, is my shit. And I was like, okay, you know what? Who do I pick for this? So I kind of went back a little bit, and I got H-Town, man. Let's do it. Oh, that's what they always do. They always talk at the start. Anything that you need, anything that you want, type of thing. H-Town. I've been knocking in boots. And here it comes. Hey yo, check the verse. Oof. When we make good love. My God, H-Town, 90s. Man, this whole thing back. Crazy. So I suggest to you, the listener, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my playlist link. It's called Put That R&B in You. Clever, right? I'll put that playlist in the show notes so you can enjoy this vibe for 4 hours. I think I put 4 hours worth of tunes in there, man. It'll put you in the mood. It's relaxing. So yeah, 90s R&B, man. H-Town. Always put you in that mood. Good mood. Documentary, man. Okay, so documentary. I haven't actually watched it yet, but I do want to watch it. It's called Social Studies, and it's on iTunes. I heard it through a podcast, and basically, this documentary, this woman followed like 10 teenagers in California, in LA, and these teenagers gave them access coming out of COVID for like 2 years or something like that to everything that's going on their phone, social media, everything. And so the documentary is basically exposing what kids are doing on their phones and how it's affecting them emotionally in their schools and everything. And it's like, I think it's a 6-part series, and I think everybody should watch this. And I'm looking forward to catching this. It might terrify me, but I think getting terrified and with a little bit of knowledge you should know is a good thing. So Social Studies, look it up. It's on iTunes now. And the challenge, yes. So with the challenge, I want to challenge everybody. When that sun comes back out, I challenge you to go for a run, go for a jog. Just do it. Just throw on some earphones, relax. Like I said earlier, check inventory of yourself, head to toe. Focus on that as you're running, and, check yourself, because, everybody takes time to check their timelines on social media or wherever, what have you, but they don't take time to check themselves. So use that opportunity, use that time that you're out there having a jog or having a run to check yourself head to toe. Check your mind, body, and soul, man, and it'll do you right. Yeah, on that note, man, Leafs got smacked. Embarrassing. I saw Tyrese do the choke last night in the Reggie choke at MSG with the Knicks. I did pick Knicks OKC final, so we'll see how that goes. Again, big shout out to Shea. Tyrese, you're not legal yet to do that, do the choke like Reggie. You're not there yet, man. You're not there yet. But, it is good theatrics, and we'll see how the rest of that series goes. But to you, the listener, thank you so much for listening. And, we will see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening or watching this episode. It means a lot, genuinely. And remember, new episodes come out every single Friday, so please hit subscribe wherever you catch this pod, whether it's Amazon Music, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, or even YouTube. And please hit that 5-star review, as it nudges that silly little algorithm to reach out to more eyes and more ears. So please, from me to you, have a great weekend. And remember, I love you.